Picture this. Deep beneath the ocean's surface, silent predators lurk in complete darkness. These aren't creatures of nature. They're machines of unimaginable destruction. A single one could erase entire nations from the map in minutes. Today, we're diving into the secret world of strategic nuclear submarine, the weapons that keep world leaders awake at night. What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about global power. Let's begin. Those who have experienced combat understand that strategic nuclear submarines aren't just weapons you casually deploy. Their true purpose goes far beyond striking other nations. They exist to deliver a devastating counterstrike when your homeland faces existential danger. Do you have any idea how many strategic nuclear submarines are currently operational worldwide? Today's special episode will take viewers on a journey through the world's most formidable strategic nuclear submarine forces. Along the way, we'll examine whose technology truly stands at the cutting edge. You might be surprised to learn that Britain isn't particularly impressive when it comes to strategic nuclear submarine. Their first nuclear submarine was constructed back in 1960. Fast forward 6 years, and the situation has become even more dire. Currently, they possess only 4 Vanguard-class nuclear submarines. All of these entered service between 1993 and 1999. Nuclear submarines typically have a design lifespan of just 30 years. In 2023, their youngest operational submarine had already reached 24 years of age. The others should have been decommissioned long ago. The replacement submarine program that could replace these aging vessels is still under construction. The first boat that was scheduled for 2024 delivery may now be delayed until 2030. For now, they're forced to rely entirely on these aging Vanguard-class submarines. They're extending the service life to 35 years. To meet NATO requirements of maintaining at least 1 submarine at sea at all times, these elderly submarines are being pushed to their absolute limits. Previously, they would spend 80 days at sea before returning to port for maintenance. Now they're being stretched to grueling 163-day deployments. What makes this even more problematic is that British nuclear submarines are completely dependent on American support. The 16 Trident cruise missiles aboard each vessel, purchased from the United States in 1998. Each one cost staggering $40 million, and Britain cannot function without them. Even routine maintenance requires shipping them back to American National Laboratory. The British naval base in Scotland doesn't even possess the equipment to remove missile launch. While the nuclear warheads are manufactured in Britain, the materials and certain classified components inside them come from the United States. Even the launch authorization codes must be shared with America. Put simply, if Britain wants to launch a submarine-based missile, they need American approval. This isn't their own deterrent force. It's essentially America's extended arm. America itself is deeply concerned about British Navy nuclear submarine incidents. In 2009, a British Navy submarine collided with a French submarine in the Atlantic Ocean. Both submarines were carrying nuclear warheads. Fortunately, the damage wasn't catastrophic. Otherwise, there could have been a nuclear detonation. Earlier this year, the British Navy admitted that only 2 of their 4 submarines were seaworthy. The remaining vessels either need spare parts or require extensive repairs. They're barely managing to maintain basic operational rotation. And the prospects for Britain's next-generation submarines look even bleaker. The design resembles the American Columbia class. They'll also be using Trident missiles. British defense contractors have openly admitted they cannot handle the project independently. The new submarines haven't been completed yet, even if they somehow launch on schedule in 2030. We're probably looking at 2035 before actual deployment. The cost per submarine has also skyrocketed from £1.2 billion to £1.5 billion. This required diverting funds from other critical naval programs. This nuclear power that relies entirely on American technological lifeline can only claim 5th place. It barely qualifies as an independent deterrent. France is significantly more capable than Britain when it comes to strategic nuclear submarines. Their underwater acoustic signature is only 110 decibels, considerably quieter than British submarines. And the M51.3 submarine-launched ballistic missile is even more formidable. It can strike targets up to 13,000 kilometers away. It can carry up to 10 independently targetable warheads, capable of hitting different targets simultaneously. It also incorporates electromagnetic pulse jamming and decoy systems, making it extremely difficult for adversary missile defense systems to intercept. However, France's challenge is the absence of adequate support vessels. You need to understand that nuclear submarines don't operate alone in deep waters. You need destroyer escorts for protection. Otherwise, you're vulnerable to enemy submarine attacks. But France only has two Frame M frigates capable of anti-submarine warfare. These two ships are primarily designed for air defense. Their anti-submarine capabilities are already limited. Their sole high-end aircraft carrier is even less reliable. Annual maintenance periods exceed 8 months. It frequently sits idle in port. There's simply no way to provide adequate protection for the Triumphant class. Additionally, these 4 Triumphant class submarines must divide their duties simultaneously, covering both Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea operational areas. They're already stretched incredibly thin. Actually, France also wants to develop next-generation nuclear submarines. The next-generation SNLE-3G nuclear submarines currently under development are already in the detailed design and critical equipment testing phase. Originally planned to replace the Triumphant by 2035, but France allocated a total of 1.3 billion euro from the 2025 defense budget to the new aircraft carrier program, cutting the nuclear submarine research and development budget in half. Critical new propulsion system testing has been delayed by 3 years. Even the final model hasn't been determined yet. French nuclear submarines can be described as resembling a solitary swordsman, no matter how exceptional their martial skills might be. Without teammates, they don't dare venture too far into deep waters. They can only patrol near their own shores. France is significantly more capable than Britain when it comes to strategic nuclear submarines. Their underwater acoustic signature is only 110 decibels, considerably quieter than British submarine. And the M51.3 submarine-launched ballistic missile is even more formidable. It can strike targets up to 13,000 kilometers away. It can carry up to 10 independently targetable warheads, capable of hitting different targets simultaneously. It also incorporates electromagnetic pulse jamming and decoy system, making it extremely difficult for adversary missile defense systems to intercept. However, France's challenge is the absence of adequate support vessels. You need to understand that nuclear submarines don't operate alone in deep waters. You need destroyer escorts for protection. Otherwise, you're vulnerable to enemy submarine attacks. But France only has 2 Frame M frigates capable of anti-submarine warfare. These 2 ships are primarily designed for air defense. Their anti-submarine capabilities are already limited. Their sole high-end aircraft carrier is even less reliable. Annual maintenance periods exceed 8 months. It frequently sits idle in port. There's simply no way to provide adequate protection for the Triumphant class. Additionally, these 4 Triumphant class submarines must divide their duties simultaneously, covering both Atlantic Ocean and Mediterranean Sea operational areas. They're already stretched incredibly thin. Actually, France also wants to develop next-generation nuclear submarines. The next-generation SNLE-3G nuclear submarines currently under development are already in the detailed design and critical equipment testing phase. Originally planned to replace the Triumphant by 2035, but France allocated a total of 1.3 billion euros from the 2025 defense budget to the new aircraft carrier program, cutting the nuclear submarine research and development budget in half. Critical new propulsion system testing has been delayed by 3 years. Even the final model hasn't been determined yet. French nuclear submarines can be described as resembling a solitary swordsman, no matter how exceptional their martial skills might be. Without teammates, they don't dare venture too far into deep waters. They can only patrol near their own shore.
Who would have predicted that 20 years ago, when Western observers ridiculed China as incapable of blue water operations and militarily weak, they could now achieve second place in strategic nuclear submarines. But with 6 Type 094A in service and 2 Type 096 under construction, although numerically fewer than America, they've built their own independent system. They truly control their underwater nuclear deterrent in their own hands. Let's examine the current Type 094A. Its full displacement is 11,000 tons. Don't focus solely on tonnage. It's not the largest, but definitely not the smallest either. It utilizes domestically developed pump jet propulsion that generates 20% less noise than traditional propellers. Combined with new anechoic coating, the underwater noise is below 100 decibel, even quieter than Russia's Boré and the Type 094A 4A carries JL-2 submarine-launched ballistic missiles designed to cover key strategic targets, plus the South China Sea's deep waters exceeding 2,000 meters. The seafloor terrain here is complex, and we possess our own underwater surveillance system. It's completely different from the past. And now discussing the Type 096. Its full displacement is 20,000 tons, and it's more stable and quieter underwater. 6 JL-3 submarine-launched ballistic missiles with ranges reaching 14,000 kilometers can carry 10 independently targetable warheads. If this deployed, ask yourself if you're frightened. If it becomes fully operational, it would truly create strategic chaos. More importantly, we have a complete team system. 10 Type 055 10,000-ton destroyers can establish a 1,000-kilometer-wide three-dimensional anti-submarine network. Anti-submarine helicopters and sonar arrays can monitor surrounding waters in real time, whether enemy submarines or anti-submarine aircraft. Approaching isn't easy because our nuclear submarines possess the greatest advantage: complete industrial chain autonomy. From steel plates to reactor systems, from JL missiles to nuclear warheads, every component is domestically manufactured without depending on anyone. Bohai's shipbuilding plant now employs modular construction and can build 4 nuclear submarines annually. This speed matches America's pace of 1 Columbia-class per year. Perhaps in the near future, our strategic nuclear submarines will ascend to become the world's most powerful deep-sea weapon. It's not necessarily first place yet, but from the strategic nuclear submarine perspective. Currently, America sits atop the world, but aging problems are becoming increasingly obvious. In the past, America deployed 14 Ohio-class submarines between 1981 and 1997, representing the world's largest strategic nuclear submarine fleet, shouldering 70% of America's nuclear deterrence mission. But in terms of firepower density, nobody can compare. Among them, the Ohio-class has a full displacement of 18,700 tons, and each can load 24 Trident II missiles. It can carry 12 more than our Type 094A. Its range extends to 12,000 kilometers, and it can carry 8 nuclear warheads with accuracy within 90 meters. It can be stated that one Ohio-class nuclear strike capability could destroy all major cities in a medium-sized nation. Additionally, its stealth characteristics are world-class. The submarine uses sound-absorbing tiles, advanced sonar detection, and pump jet propulsion, and the underwater noise is only 105 decibels, nearly matching the 95 decibel ocean background noise. And America's system support is also exceptional. 18 Virginia-class attack submarines specifically escort the Ohio-class. 76 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers handle surface protection. It maintains 120 P-8 anti-submarine aircraft deployed globally, creating underwater and aerial three-dimensional anti-submarine networks where enemy submarines from any nation cannot approach. Regarding logistics and security, when America claims first place, nobody should dispute it. Currently, they've established over 100 supply chains for nuclear submarine maintenance, including a specialized nuclear reactor supply chain. Additionally, the Ohio-class was originally designed for a 30-year lifespan. After replacing fuel rods and upgrading cooling systems, the lifespan can extend to 42 years. The Ohio-class, first deployed in 1981, was planned for retirement in 2029. Furthermore, America also implemented continuous rotation. 3 Ohio-class submarines are at sea at any given time, 1 in the Atlantic Ocean, 1 in the Pacific Ocean, and 1 in the Indian Ocean, ensuring capability to respond at any moment. But now their situation isn't comfortable. Of the 14 Ohio-class submarines, 10 will have served over 25 years, approaching the 42-year lifespan limit. Maintenance costs have also increased dramatically. This year, the Navy must spend $2.8 billion repairing 4 vessels, and the Columbia-class, intended as replacements, faces even greater challenges. The first Columbia began construction in September 2021, originally planned to enter service in 2031. Now, due to specialized steel shortages, it's been delayed to 2033. The price has also escalated to $15 billion. The total budget for 12 Columbia-class submarines is $180 billion. No matter how high America's military costs run, this is difficult to sustain. What troubles America most is that our Type 096 nuclear submarines are becoming increasingly formidable. Russia is also upgrading the Boré. America's original underwater advantage is diminishing. In 2024, the U.S. Department of Defense admitted that the Ohio-class security perimeter in the Pacific Ocean had had shrunk 30% compared to a decade ago. They must rely on increasing anti-submarine patrol frequency to compensate. Although America can still maintain first place now, if the Columbia-class encounters further problems, first place will eventually be taken by China. In the near future, as our Type 096 nuclear submarines deploy in significant numbers, our underwater nuclear shield will become increasingly robust. Whether maintaining national sovereignty or ensuring peace, there's sufficient confidence. After all, the powerful weapon in my hand represents the most reliable sense of security. So friends, this has been the complete ranking of the world's 5 most powerful nuclear submarine forces. 5th place goes to Britain, completely dependent on American technology with submarines that have aged beyond their prime. 4th place belongs to France, possessing excellent technology but lacking the naval support structure. 3rd place is Russia, maintaining numerous submarines in quantity, but most are elderly and deteriorating. 2nd place goes to China, which has made remarkable progress over the past 20 years and achieved complete self-sufficiency. And 1st place remains with America, still the most powerful but facing aging submarines and delays with the new Columbia-class program. This balance could shift in the future. As China's Type 096 submarines become operational, the underwater power map may be redrawn. Speaking of India, we're also entering this race. Our Arahant-class submarines represent indigenous technology. We're progressing slowly but steadily forward. Remember, true power is what you build yourself. Nations that develop their own technology remain strong long-term. Whether China or India, self-reliance represents the greatest strength. Nuclear submarines aren't merely weapons. They're the ultimate guarantee of national security. They exist to maintain peace, not wage war. But as long as global conflicts persist, these deep-sea guardians will remain necessary. In conclusion, whoever holds the powerful weapons sleeps securely. And that security is complete only when that power is entirely your own. I hope you found this information valuable. If you have any questions or suggestions, please share them in the comments below. Thank you.